embracing stillness and inner awareness. In the fast pace of modern life, we often find ourselves swept away by the endless stream of thoughts, worries, and distractions. We rarely take the time to sit in stillness, to simply be, without the need to rush or achieve. Yet within this stillness, there is a powerful opportunity to reconnect with ourselves, to tap into a deeper awareness that lies beyond the surface of our daily lives. Stillness is not just the absence of movement or sound, it is a state of mind, a way of being. It is the quiet space where we can observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. In stillness, we begin to notice the subtle rhythms of our own being, the rise and fall of our breath, the beating of our heart, the gentle sensations in our body. These sensations remind us that even in the quietest moments, life is continuously unfolding within us. The mind, however, often resists stillness. It craves stimulation, distraction, and movement. It wants to plan, analyze, and solve. But when we gently guide ourselves into stillness, we start to experience a profound shift. The chatter of the mind begins to soften, and we enter a space of quiet awareness, a space where we can simply observe without judgment. This space is where we begin to cultivate inner peace. It is the foundation of our meditation practice, where we learn to sit with whatever arises without trying to change or control it. In this space, we come face to face with our true selves, beyond the layers of thought, expectation, and external pressure. As we embrace this stillness, we might notice that thoughts still come and go, but they no longer hold the same power over us. We no longer feel the need to react to every thought or emotion that passes through our mind. Instead, we observe them like clouds drifting across the sky, present but impermanent. In this practice, we realize that our thoughts do not define us. They are fleeting, momentary expressions of the mind, but they are not who we are. Beneath the surface of thought, there is a deeper awareness, a presence that is always there, watching, observing, and holding space for whatever arises. This presence is our true nature. It is the part of us that remains unchanged by the chaos of life, the part that is always at peace, no matter what is happening around us. It is the stillness at the center of the storm, the eye of the hurricane. As we rest in this awareness, we begin to experience a sense of spaciousness within ourselves. The mind, which once felt crowded and chaotic, now feels open and expansive. There is room for everything, thoughts, emotions, sensations, but we are no longer overwhelmed by them. We simply allow them to be, knowing that they will pass in their own time. Elevate your thoughts on what brings you peace and is good for you. Part 2, the power of presence and letting go. As we continue into the practice of stillness, we begin to deepen our connection with the present moment. The mind, often busy with concerns of the past or worries about the future, begins to settle into the simplicity of the now. Here in this moment, we find the richness of life unfolding, quietly, yet profoundly. One of the most powerful lessons of meditation is the art of presence. Presence is the ability to be fully engaged with whatever is happening right now, without being pulled by thoughts of what has been or what might come. It is about accepting this moment as it is without wishing it to be different. In the present moment, everything is as it should be. There is no need to fix, control, or change anything. We simply allow ourselves to be, to exist in the fullness of now. In this state, we often discover a profound sense of peace that we didn't know was available to us. But to truly experience this presence, we must also practice the art of letting go. Letting go does not mean giving up or surrendering in defeat. Instead, it is an act of releasing our tight grip on the need to control outcomes. It is trusting that things will unfold as they are meant to, and that we don't always need to direct or force them. Letting go requires us to release the expectations we hold, not just of others or the world, but of ourselves. We often carry with us a set of rigid beliefs about how we should be, how we should feel, or what we should accomplish. These expectations create pressure and tension, blocking us from experiencing the freedom of the present moment. As we let go of these burdens, we begin to feel lighter, more open, and more at peace. It's as if we've been carrying a heavy backpack for so long that we forgot what it felt like to move without it. When we set it down, even for a moment, we experience a newfound sense of ease. In the words of the spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle, Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. These words remind us that the only true reality is the present. The past no longer exists, and the future is yet to come. All we ever have is this moment, right now. But letting go is not always easy. The mind likes to hold on to old patterns, fears, and anxieties. It clings to what is familiar, even if that familiarity brings discomfort. This is why meditation is a practice, something we return to again and again. Each time we meditate, we are gently training the mind to release its attachments, to soften its grip on control. With each breath, we practice letting go. We release the need to be perfect, the need to have all the answers, the need to be in control. We surrender to the flow of life, trusting that we will be carried exactly where we need to go. In this process, we begin to experience a deep sense of inner freedom. We realize that we don't need to hold on so tightly, that life will continue to unfold whether we control it or not. This realization brings a sense of relief and liberation, allowing us to relax into the present moment with more ease. As we rest in this space of presence and letting go, we also begin to cultivate compassion, both for ourselves and for others. We recognize that everyone, in their own way, is trying to navigate the complexities of life. We all have our struggles, our doubts, our fears, and in that shared human experience, we find connection. The poet Rumi once said, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there." This field is the space of presence where judgments and expectations fall away, and all that remains is the pure, open awareness of now. In this field, we are free from the stories we tell ourselves about who we are or who we should be. We are free to simply exist without the need to label, judge, or define. We are free to be present with ourselves exactly as we are in this moment, embracing emotions and cultivating self-compassion. As we continue this journey of meditation, it's essential to recognize the role that our emotions play in our experience. Emotions are an inevitable part of being human. They come and go, sometimes arriving gently and other times crashing like waves in a storm. Meditation offers us a space to welcome these emotions without being overwhelmed by them. In our everyday lives, we often try to suppress or avoid difficult emotions, whether it's sadness, anger, fear, or anxiety. We label these feelings as bad and resist them, hoping they will disappear. However, emotions are like visitors. If we ignore them or push them away, they tend to knock even louder. It's only when we acknowledge their presence that we can begin to understand and release them. Meditation provides a safe container for this acknowledgement. We learn to sit with whatever emotions arise without judgment or resistance. As the spiritual teacher Pema Chodron said, "Feel the feelings, drop the story." This means we allow ourselves to fully experience the emotion without attaching a narrative or judgment to it. For example, if we feel sadness, we might notice the heaviness in the chest, the tearfulness in the eyes, or the tightness in the throat. We simply observe these sensations, acknowledging that they are present. But we don't need to create a story around why we feel sad or blame ourselves for it. Instead, we offer ourselves kindness in the face of discomfort. This is where the practice of self-compassion becomes vital. In meditation, we learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and care that we would offer to a close friend. When difficult emotions arise, we practice responding with gentleness rather than self-criticism or harshness. Kristin Neff, a leading researcher on self-compassion, explains that self-compassion involves treating yourself as you would treat a friend in times of suffering, acknowledging that you are human and that all humans are imperfect. This means allowing ourselves to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to feel emotions without berating ourselves for it. As we practice embracing emotions in meditation, we also develop emotional resilience. We begin to see that emotions, like thoughts, are temporary. They come and go, and none of them define us. We might feel sadness today, but that sadness is not who we are. It is simply a passing visitor. This perspective brings a deep sense of relief. When we stop identifying with our emotions, we become less reactive and more grounded. We learn that we can experience even the most challenging feelings without being consumed by them. As the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor." In moments of intense emotion, the breath becomes our anchor. We return to the simplicity of the inhale and the exhale, grounding ourselves in the present moment. The breath reminds us that no matter how strong the emotion, we have the capacity to stay present and compassionate. Another aspect of this emotional awareness is the recognition that our emotions often carry valuable messages. Anger, for example, might be pointing us toward a boundary that has been crossed. Fear might be alerting us to something we need to address. By sitting with our emotions in meditation, we learn to listen to these messages without being overwhelmed by them. This awareness also allows us to become more compassionate toward others. When we understand our own emotions more deeply, we become more empathetic to the struggles and feelings of those around us. We realize that just as we experience difficult emotions, so do others. This shared experience of humanity fosters connection and understanding. As we continue in our meditation practice, we begin to notice that emotions, like everything else in life, are impermanent. No matter how intense a feeling may be, it will eventually pass. This understanding allows us to approach our emotions with more ease and less fear. We trust that we have the capacity to weather any emotional storm, knowing that the sun will eventually return. With each meditation session, we cultivate a deeper sense of emotional intelligence and self-compassion. We learn to be with ourselves fully, in all our complexity, without judgment. And in this acceptance, we find a profound sense of inner peace. Gratitude, like mindfulness, can be a daily practice. It doesn't have to be grand gestures or monumental events. It can be as simple as pausing to appreciate a meal, a conversation, or the quiet of the evening. When we make gratitude a regular part of our lives, we begin to see the world through a more compassionate and joyful lens. As we conclude this meditation, remember that this practice of mindfulness, presence, and gratitude is always available to you. Whether you're sitting in meditation or going about your daily life, these tools are within reach. The peace you seek is already within you. It's simply a matter of remembering and reconnecting with it. In the words of Jon Kabat-Zinn, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Life will always have its challenges, its ups and downs, but through the practice of mindfulness, we learn to navigate them with grace and resilience. As you move forward from this meditation, carry with you the sense of presence you've cultivated, the emotional awareness, and the gratitude that has arisen. Let them guide you as you move through your day, helping you to remain centered, compassionate, and at peace. And always remember, no matter how busy or stressful life may become, the present moment is always here for you. It is a refuge, a place where you can find calm and clarity, no matter what is happening around you. All it takes is a moment of awareness, a return to the breath, and the recognition that you are enough, just as you are. This concludes our meditation. Take with you the peace and presence you've cultivated, and know that this practice is always here for you whenever you need it. Cultivating presence and ending with gratitude. As we move toward the final stage of this meditation, we deepen our connection with the present moment. At the heart of all mindfulness and meditation practices is the cultivation of presence, the ability to fully be here now without distraction. This presence is where we find clarity, calm, and true peace. The present moment is all we ever really have. The past is gone, the future is not yet here. Yet so often, we live outside of the present, replaying old conversations, worrying about things that haven't happened, or getting lost in endless to-do lists. Meditation teaches us to step out of this cycle of distraction and into the richness of now. As spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle puts it, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. This realization brings a deep sense of freedom. The more we practice being present, the more we realize that this moment right now is enough. There's nothing we need to add or change. Simply being here with ourselves is enough. We bring our attention back to the breath, back to the body, back to the sensations of the here and now. The mind may still wander, that's natural, but we gently guide it back each time, cultivating a sense of ease and focus. Over time, this presence becomes more than just something we experience in meditation. It starts to flow into our daily lives. One of the most beautiful aspects of mindfulness is that it can transform even the most ordinary moments into something sacred. washing dishes, walking, listening to someone speak, all these can become opportunities to practice presence. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when we are fully engaged with it. In this final part of our meditation, we also take a moment to practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful force for shifting our mindset and opening our hearts. Even in moments of difficulty, there is always something to be grateful for. Whether it's the simple act of breathing, the warmth of the sun, or the support of a loved one. As psychologist Robert Emmons says, gratitude is, in essence, a way of seeing that alters our gaze. By practicing gratitude, we change the way we see the world. We move from a place of lack to a place of abundance, recognizing the many gifts that life offers, even in its challenges. In this moment, take a moment to reflect on something you are grateful for. It could be a person, a place, a moment of peace, or even this practice itself. Allow that sense of gratitude to fill your heart, acknowledging that whatever is good in your life deserves recognition.